This is VSiN, the sports betting network.
The numbers told the story, they always do.
It's one of those idiots who believe in analytics.
This is a numbers game with Gil Alexander on VSiN.
Good Monday morning to you. It is a numbers game at VSiN, the sports betting network, VSiN.com, Game Plus, iHeartRadio, YouTube TV, and of course, Sirius XM Channel 158. Gil Alexander, Kelly Midland.
Hey,
In the hizzy. What's happening, man?
not much. Good morning. Good Monday to everyone.
To everyone and all. Mm-hmm. That's redundant. On the show today,
Everyone and all.
Greg Peterson joins us. All his baseball plays today. We'll reduce it to 5 or thereabouts. He's got so many, but we'll do the Fab 5 with Greg Peterson. Wes Reynolds joining us. Adam Burke, all his baseball plays as well. Wes on golf and more. He's got some NBA thoughts for the NBA Finals between the Spurs and the Knicks. Let's go. Spurs getting it done on Saturday. We'll talk about that here momentarily. Speaking of the NBA Finals and the French Open, by the way, Alex Noops Christensen joins us today. How do you get the nickname Noops? Do we know?
It's a great question. I don't know.
That'll be the first question.
There you go.
How you get the nickname Noops? But we'll talk hoops and tennis with him. Maybe there's a lesson somewhere in there. We'll also look at some rando markets, like where will Giannis end up next? Where will LeBron end up next? That kind of thing.
Well, there's a couple conference finalists that have been bounced that everybody's asking those questions, Gil.
Oh, we got to talk about this. French Open plays, by the way. There are 2 left. 2 have not started today. French Open match play has been great. Futures, not so much. Up 9 units on match play. Down 3 on all 3 of our futures, though, including Iga, who just was terrible the other day, against Marta Kostyuk, who I added a future on, by the way. Marta Kostyuk to win the ladies' side of the French Open. But today what remains is Maddie Keys in action right now. It is not going well for her in the third set. She's down a break. The 2 that remain, I am on Frances Tiafoe and on Alejandro Tabilo. Tiafoe and Tabilo. That won't be hard to remember. Tabilo is a bit of a dog. Tabilo, when I bet it overnight for VSiN subscribers, plus 148 versus your guy, Felix Auger-Aliassime, and Frances Tiafoe minus 113 against Matteo Arnaldi. Those are the 2 tennis that have not started yet today, if you want to partake. As far as Saturday... Oh, yeah, I'm sorry.
I did partake.
Okay.
I'm on a big foe with you. Tiafoe.
You love big foe.
I do like Tiafoe. Against a Matteo Arnaldi? Sure, let's go. Let's go, Tiafoe.
Sure, he said. Plus, we'll look at, we'll get May final in Major League Baseball. We have all the standings, all the odds, all that. Our Mariners ended up finishing 4 wins out. That's it in the end. Too little, too late. 6-game winning streak there at the end. 4 wins out.
I was just going to pull it up. Yeah, quite a run to end the month there.
We're never in it. Didn't manifest as soon as we'd like to. So we'll get into all that as well. Let's start with Saturday night, though, and we'll talk about other things that happened over the weekend. I know we're a day plus removed, but the San Antonio Spurs, and those of us who have tickets on the Spurs, alive and well, and are the favorites to beat the New York Knicks in the NBA Finals, which begin Wednesday night. Stanley Cup Final begins Tuesday between Vegas and Carolina. NBA Finals begins Wednesday. Proper singular and pluralization on my part. Thank you very much.
Yep.
Not too bad of a wait in between. So the content works out. Spurs and Thunder went the distance. So Game 7 in OKC. Remember, there was no J-Dub. There was no A.J. Mitchell. Spurs led by 14 in the first quarter, Kelly. 27-13. But then a 12-5 OKC run to close it out. Spurs led by 7 at the end of 1. Spurs got it back to 11. Then OKC went on a 20-5 run to take the lead 53-49, but a 7-0 run to close out the half. Spurs were up by 3, 56-53. I don't know if you know about this baloncesto, but it's a game of runs.
I've heard that.
Yeah, third quarter 10-4 run to start the half for the Thunder. They took a 63-60 lead, and everybody's like, okay, here comes OKC. They're going to do this. But a 16-2 San Antonio run put the Spurs back up by 11, 76-65. Then what do you know? OKC, a 12-3 stretch to cut it to 79-77, 80-77 Spurs, same margin, 3 points, end of third quarter as it was at the half. And the fourth quarter, 81-79, a 16-7 San Antonio run, sparked by a couple Keldon Johnson threes. They go up 97-86, punctuated, by the way, by a Wemby step-back three at the end of that and a Johnson layup. With 8 minutes left, the Spurs are up 11. Then it's 97-91. It's a 6-point margin. And now Wemby has 5 fouls.
Yeah.
Wemby has 5 fouls. He sits out briefly. And this is the play that everybody sort of highlights as the key play of the game. With Wemby out, OKC gets a steal. They're down 6. Hartenstein to the rack. Cornette blocks it.
Was awesome.
Castle jumper on the other end, 99-91. Turnover, Wemby back in, Champagnie 3, and all of a sudden it's 11 again with 5:33 left.
So happy for Cornette, man, just to make that play, because Gil, he's been one of those guys that's kind of, I don't want to say been getting killed, but he's kind of, we keep seeing all these Wemby on-off stats, right? But, and all that, it's great. It's really how good Wemby is, but like they went out to get him to be a great backup rim defender like he was in Boston for the past couple years. And to make a highlight play like that when you've been kind of getting dogged throughout the playoffs, that was great to see.
It was great to see. Caruso Banker made it 102-93. Spurs turnover. McCain misses. Champagnie misses a 3, but Harper cleans it up with an offensive board. Put back. OKC uses their final timeout with 4:26 to go. They're down 11. Then SGA with an impossible fadeaway jumper. Timeout Spurs. 104-95 left. 104-95, 4:05 left. Pardon me. Harper 3. That was the dagger. 107-95. Wallace corner 3 to match it. 107-98. Teams trade empty possessions. 2:31 left. Harper dunk drive blocked by Holmgren. We'll get to him momentarily. A Wallace 3 cut it back to 6 with less than 2 minutes left, and then the Spurs turned it over. Remember, OKC had the ball down 6. Less than 2 minutes left. They missed out of bounds. 1:23 to go. Champagnie missed. Rebound. Castle, he lays it in. Wallace layup. 109-103. Spurs call timeout with 42.9 seconds left as Castle was trapped. 14 seconds left on the shot clock. OKC steal. Inbounds pass. Remember, OKC had a shot here. Kenrich Williams missed the 3. Spurs with a foul to give. They foul. Caruso 3, no good. Out of bounds off the Thunder. 17 seconds left. Wallace misses a 3. Vassell breakaway jam. The unders go to die on the breakaway jam.
Oh, man.
The over hits. 111-103. Ball game. The Spurs are going to the NBA Finals. Wembanyama, if I'm a Spurs backer, which I am at 19-1 to win the title, I wish he wasn't that emotional. I was like, there's one more series, buddy.
Yeah.
I get it. But Wembanyama, 22. So that's a quibble. 22.7 boards. Champagnie, 20 on 6 of 11, shooting 6 of 10 from behind the arc. SGA, 35 in defeat. Holmgren, and this is the one I want to seize on, 4 points on 1 of 2 shooting. 2 shots, Gelly, with 4 rebounds, 2 steals, and 2 blocks, 2 turnovers in 32 minutes. Both of his shots came in the Thunder's first 4 possessions of the game. Mm-hmm. And then he didn't take a shot for the rest of the game. Yeah. Before we move on to the Spurs and the Knicks, let's talk about the Thunder for a second.
Sure. He was bad all series.
He was really bad in Game 7. And both Holmgren and SGA, right, at different moments, which was not covered in that little recap. What was not covered is SGA, there was a couple times where he should have taken it at Wemby, and he shied away, and he passed it out. And then Holmgren, every time he had it, remember that one awkward one where he just fell on the baseline?
Yeah.
He's going to the hoop, he just falls. I just thought those 2 guys, the biggest stars on that team, SGA and Holmgren, without question, came up so small. Or is it just the fact that Wemby is just that menacing of a force on defense, and that's just how it's going to be?
Yeah, I mean, look, he caused problems for those guys the whole series. Wemby, that was SGA. I think more early in the series. I thought SGA had a great game in Game 7. 35
wasn't
points,
his fault.
12 for 21 from the field. To me, it was more the story of the others on both sides. Right, we've talked about for years now. Hey, it's SGA, but he's got this supporting cast that is so great. And, yeah, you had the injuries, J-Dub, A.J. Mitchell. It's second best player, and A.J. Mitchell's become very, very, very good for this team. But still, we've always talked about how these other guys are so good on this team and step up. And I thought Shea had a better game than Victor Wembanyama. I thought he was the best player on the court on Saturday, but it was all about the other guys on both sides. The Spurs others were the guys who stepped up and won that Game 7. And meanwhile, you look at, someone like me we bet Alex Caruso MVP tickets, 3 for 14 from the field. He couldn't hit anything, right? Lou Dort was a mess the whole series. Chet Holmgren was a mess the whole series, and I know he's getting destroyed after this game. It's just those other guys were not there. They just weren't not there.
You're 100% right. maybe I'm not being fair to SGA by pointing out those moments where that he shied away. But you're right, it wasn't his fault. It was. I really do think the J-Dub injury was, in the end, proved massive. Proved to be massive because they don't have anybody else who could generate offense or be relied on.
Right, and Mitchell even developed into that role this year, but it's especially the creator, right? You always have these 3-and-D guys, but who can actually go create their own shot? And that's where they ran out of options. It was, man, I just thought really this is, I don't want to take anything away from the Spurs though, right? Like Victor, and I agree with you, the getting emotional thing a little too much. A
little too much for me.
But all we keep saying about this guy, what I love about him the most, is he cares about being great.
Don't twist what I'm saying. I love the emotion. I love it in general. But as a ticket holder,
right. Conference finals, not the finals. Yeah,
right. As a bettor, I was like, okay, I just hope that doesn't signify that he feels this is the mountaintop. Right. I love that he cares so much. I love that he slayed the beast here. I love all of that. But I'm just like, okay, now you do have another series. Let's ratchet it back a little bit.
And look, as we spin this forward and talk about game one, is that in my mind a little bit? For sure, right? Like, are you going to be able to get past this? You got to the mountaintop, right? You got over Oklahoma City. This isn't where it ends, though. This isn't where it ends.
This is what it is for last. We'll get to the Spurs of the Knicks after the break. But OKC, this does now sort of push it forward to the draft now, and all of that draft capital they have, it's like they are going to meet this defeat with a vengeance.
I think it's
with
gonna
aggression.
Be very fascinating what happens. And with Chet, I'd love to talk more about him on the other side. He's a fascinating story.
Are people
right now.
ridiculous for saying he's expendable now?
Yes.
Yeah, I think they are too. Because I heard a little of that, and I'm like, okay, well, let's ratchet that back a bit. Spurs, Knicks, next. Numbers game. VSiN, the Sports Betting Network.
Racetrack Television Network brings you every race, from every track, on every screen, every day. With monthly packages starting as low as $5, RTN gives you great value and access to more live HD streaming and race replays than anyone. Visit RTN.tv today to sign up and watch on almost any device, including Roku and Amazon Fire. Use promo code TRYRTN for a 5-day free trial.
This is VSiN, a network of sports betting analysts, writers, hosts, and handicappers, all here to help you become a more confident bettor. We broadcast live every day from Las Vegas, the sports betting capital of the world, and from studios across the country, giving you insight from every angle of the action. Take VSiN with you wherever you go with the VSiN Watch app, or catch us on streaming platforms and regional sports networks. You can also listen live on SiriusXM Channel 158 and on radio stations nationwide. Check out VSiN.com as well for betting tools, exclusive betting splits, AI-powered player prop projections from Opta, pro picks for every game, plus in-depth betting guides and articles built to give you an edge. From sharp betting analysis and daily best bets to insider interviews and expert breakdowns, VSiN is your trusted source for everything happening in the world of sports betting. See everything we have to offer at VSiN.com and become part of the Sports Betting Network.
Coming up on the next edition of Follow the Money, we'll preview the NBA Finals matchup, plus a look at the Stanley Cup Final. Chris Belm, importer-exporter, joins the program to break down the most wins in June market, and we recap the results from May. Loaded card in MLB with props and projections as well. Follow the Money 4 to 7 Eastern on VSiN, the Sports Betting Network, SiriusXM Channel 158. Check out the website for all the betting tools and analysis, or get the VSiN Watch app.
Numbers Game on VSiN, the Sports Betting Network.
Don't forget about our VSiN Pro Early Bird Special. Full VSiN Pro access until the Super Bowl, $175. Daily best bets, betting splits, data, AI-powered prop projections, 24/7 video access, and the NFL betting guide, which comes out. We have a date, June 22nd. VSiN.com/subscribe. Is that earlier than ever before, or is that about match last year's?
I think that around matches last year. I was thinking about this earlier, too.
June 22nd for the NFL betting guide. Again, full VSiN Pro access until the Super Bowl, $175. That is your Oily Boyd special for VSiN Pro subscribers.
Right, because last year we started that, right? We did the early version and then updated it late.
Yeah. We get tweets at Beating the Book. This is from Rydico99. Rydico99, did Bob announce this? Is this did he finally get to the point where he announced it? Because Rydico99 saying Dr. Bob not doing college football this year constitutes breaking news.
Ooh, wow.
Bob has been, for just sort of inside baseball on Bob for a few years now has sort of behind the scenes been talking about shedding a sport. I didn't know that that's what he was going that this was finally going to be the announcement on this, but he, his kids are young. He wants to spend more time with them. So just confirming with Bob on text here now to see if this is if he's truly the case, because there was times he threatened before, and then Bob would show up and he'd, once college football season started, he goes, I got to do it. Or then he'd say, no bowl season.
Right.
Which is where I thought we were with him.
I was going to say, I felt like even this past year he had kind of picked up a little bit more.
Yeah, I don't know.
Past couple years.
Let me talk to him about that. Montreal Max, the women's schedule makes it like a no-show in North America as after Sabalenka gets her evening session today. The absurdity tomorrow in quarters having Andreeva versus Kirstea, followed by Svitolina versus Kostyuk, probably around 7 a.m. Eastern. It's so worse for her in Vegas. Montreal Max talking about the women's schedule. By the way, Iga just, all of our futures, as great as the matches have gone, all of our futures are gone. Sinner, of course, first with a heat stroke. Sinner has never won a match longer than 3 hours and 35 minutes. Should be pointed out. It's his kryptonite.
Yeah, it feels like a problem.
Then Cerundolo loses, doesn't get a quarter. Francisco Cerundolo. Juan Manuel still alive today.
Cool, good. I'm happy for the Cerundolo family.
And then Iga she was serving for the first set against Marta Kostyuk, and she just from that point forward was terrible. She did this exact same thing last year at the French Open. Remember when Sabalenka, after Coco beat her in the final, Sabalenka was like, she didn't win. I kind of gave it to her. And I kept screaming. I'm like, Iga gave you the semifinal. You didn't realize that? Iga was spraying the ball over the field. That's how it was. She couldn't serve, sprayed it all over the field. Marta Kostyuk, who, by the way, if you listen to the Beating the Book French Open podcast, I did say the best clay numbers belong to Marta Kostyuk. Brian Point Schaefer, it's not that Iga's bad anymore. It's not that Iga it's bad anymore. I just think that all these girls and young girls have caught up to her and passed her. Yeah, I don't know if they passed her, because last year then she turned around and she won Wimbledon, for God's sakes. But yes, there's no question that the field has gotten better. She is not peak Iga either, that's for sure. I think it's a little of both. NCI 95 Gambler. Guess who feels like an idiot today? I cashed out a future that thought was going to lose. Lesson learned, never cash out. P.S. Yes, I bet Peanuts still want to win. Victor Wembanyama, NBA Finals MVP is what he's referring to. He cashed that out at 11-1. Oh, boy. JB updating us with his numbers. Said Cerundolo hurt, but Kobali 500-1 and Hodar 60-1 still standing for his futures. Also on Tiafo today at 4-1 to win quarter. Good luck, JB. Hope you get it done. By the way, it should be pointed out with the men's, I did bet on Kostyuk to win the women's. After Sinner, I never got back into the men's side. This is really shaping up to be the Sasha Zverev, who's had so many chances. And then there's the kids, Rafa Hodar and João Fonseca, João Fonseca is incredible. But, Kelly, before people race to bet Hodar or Fonseca, the young kids, the total amount of court time to this point, Hodar, 18 hours and 15 minutes. Fonseca, 17 hours and 15 minutes. Sasha Zverev, 10 hours and 42 minutes. He's literally played almost half the tournament these guys have in terms of minutes logged. So keep that in mind.
I kind of just want to bet on my guy Tiafo now.
Patrick Kelly, easy analysis for me. My futures now have no future.
Yeah. Update on Kelly's French Open and College World Series futures. They're gone. They're done.
Arkansas gone.
Yeah, they're done.
They gone. By the way, the big college baseball news, UCLA the overall number 1 seed, gone.
Yeah, also gone. Yep.
And then Hattiesburg, right, was the big the big upset of all the regions. The number 4 seed comes out of Hattiesburg.
Little Rock.
What's that? Little Rock. That's right. So we do have 5 games, including your FSU Seminoles today, to determine the last teams in the
Let's go.
in
Let's
the
go,
region.
Knowles.
And I think FSU, if FSU wins, they have to play another game. Is that correct, or is it the other way around?
And I'm not sure.
Yeah. So keep that in mind. 5, maybe 6 games today. Shrek McPhee, who had Ukraine becoming a women's tennis powerhouse in 2026 on their bingo card. They've always been good. They always had a lot of players. Jeff in Vancouver, been very busy lately, so not handicapping, but hitchhiking NBA and tennis, listening to Gil and Kelly. And holy cow, picked the right time to coattail on the Spurs and some great plus money tennis hits. Many thanks. Archie Green, Chet Holmgren had his soul snatched from his body when Vic dunked on him in the first quarter. Las Vegas 514, 1999, San Antonio versus the Knicks. I was in the Bahamas having my first rolled Cuban cigar and sipping cognac. 2026 here at home, probably surrounded by crazy Knicks fans drinking Shirley Temple. Sheesh. Looking forward to a great series. And Chance Copperpot, Spurs are in the finals. Gil, I know that you do not hedge, but I decided to take the Knicks plus 1.5 games. Best price I could find was at Kalshi for minus 126. I have to monetize the 88-1 Spurs ticket that I bet on Christmas Day with you. Let's go. What you mean you bet 88-1? Oh, a 2-pick parlay. He had a 2-pick parlay. A field goal attempt in the Cowboys' last drive in a game, or one drive, I guess, result, along with the Spurs winning the final.
It's a natural parlay. You didn't make that same
He's
one?
watching that Fakakta Cowboy Skins game on Thanksgiving, or Christmas, pardon me. He's betting some ridiculous drive result with the Spurs final. That's why he's got 88-1.
Alcohol was definitely not involved.
All right. By the way, to that, we'll read more tweets, but to that, we went to the NBA Cup final.
We did.
It was the Knicks and the Spurs. So clearly this has to be a numbers game tradition. We're going to go every year. It will be the portent of what is going to result in the NBA Finals. Spurs are a 5-point favorite in game number 1. Do you have a placer?
Bunch of bad pictures being circulated right now. We'll get these on air at some point.
From that night?
Yeah. I didn't realize Darnell had taken as many bad ones as I did, too.
I had to chaperone you guys.
Yeah, I will have bets. I have not made anything yet. This is the classic. Man, I don't know about you. I was looking around yesterday. I'm like, is this really like a golf tournament? I got to wait for some of these books to post. Like, it was incredible. It was a day after Game 7. I'm like, we don't have all these markets up yet. I will have a bet. I don't know that I'm doing anything with Game 1.
Series prices, I'm seeing at Bookmaker offshore, minus 188 on the Spurs, plus 161 on the Knicks.
I think that 188 is pretty good. As you're seeing, most places hovering closer to minus 200. At least that's what I have on my screen. Look, we said it last week. I thought there was going to be value on either one of these Western Conference teams. I still feel that way. I think that number is a little low, minus 200, minus 190. I think it's bettable for the Spurs. I think if you want to go look at laying a game and a half, that would totally be doable. I think I'm going to play this. I'm going to end up, Gil, on the Spurs in 6 and Spurs in 7. Exact finishes, so 4-2, 4-3. If you're watching at home, that's plus 550 and plus 350 over at DraftKings. And I think that's the only thing I'm going to play as far as the series goes. I got to go. There are a couple other props I'm eyeing.
Do you find the Knicks? I don't know. This is it's anecdotal. Also the market price, right? I mean, Knicks are plus 170. This is not like the Spurs are a favorite, but they're not like a massive favorite, right? Knicks beat them, I think, 2 out of 3. 2 out of 3 during the regular season. And Wemby did play, right, in all those.
He did come off the bench for the Cup game.
There was
right?
Yeah, that was a load management game where he was only playing like low 20 minutes.
Right.
Yeah. There was that stretch for sure. I don't know, man. I listen. I know the Knicks fan base is what it is. They seem to operate in a bubble in the Eastern Conference. I'm very confident in the Spurs. Listen, the Spurs dominated OKC during the regular season. That was why I bet the Spurs to win it all on Christmas Day. Sure wish the Celtics were in this against them. That would have been fun, 125-1.
Mm-hmm.
But I feel good about this series. I think the Spurs will sort of put things back in perspective here in the next couple days. And I do believe the Knicks thing, as you and I have talked about, I think the biggest thing we talked about last week was the whole rest versus rust thing which a lot of people immediately go to the rest and they're like, oh, this is great for the Knicks. They get to hang out here. They swept the Cavs in the Eastern Conference Final while the Spurs and OKC duked it out. Nothing could have been worse for the Knicks than stopping to play basketball.
Yep.
Rust over rest, in my opinion.
Kilbridge is not getting up shots for a week.
You said, though, the game one, it does worry you a little bit about game one, that they were all so pumped up about it?
A little bit. Game one, I will be sitting on the sidelines for. I don't think I'm going to be touching this side or total. If anything, I'd lean a little bit towards the over. Man, just where you see these totals get adjusted to from regular season into the playoffs, and especially NBA Finals, is wild. But yeah, I mean, it's what we talked about all week with the Knicks, right? Like, the Knicks were so hot, take a week off, then you got to go play this game in San Antonio, and Spurs, how do you turn around after that OKC win?
Yeah. Let's talk some baseball. Greg Peterson, all of his plays next. It's a numbers game at VSiN, the Sports Betting Network.
Biggest contest we've ever seen.
Seriously, what's the guarantee?
They're still talking about it.
I think it's time to put the rumors to rest.
Showtime.
$30 million.
$30 million?
$30 million? $30 million?
That's $30 million guaranteed. 3 contests, multiple ways to win, no rate. Entry starting at $1,000. Enter in Nevada, play from anywhere.
Elevate your sports betting game with VSiN's exclusive betting splits. Stay ahead with real-time market trends and track bet percentages on any matchup. Then uncover the edge by comparing them to the amount of bets placed to find out where the sharp money is headed. Upgrade to VSiN Pro to access betting splits, live odds, line moves, power ratings, and in-depth game analysis. Go to vsin.com/pro to join VSiN, the sports betting network.
This is VSiN, the Sports Betting Network. A numbers game on VSiN, the sports betting network.
Don't forget about the Sharp Plays, unmatched transparency with records updated daily, AI betting analysis, real-time global betting info, and alerts directly from the pros. Check out sharpplays.com. Scan the QR code for more. Don't say don't put the word "the" beforehand. It's just sharpplays.com. Maddie Keys got bageled in the third set against Deanna Schneider. That's not fun. It's not a fun loss to start the day with. As the match play has been awesome for us. Let's see if we can get one or two of these men's plays. Again, Tabilo and Tiafo still to come. We at Tweet Speed in the book, Jesse Welch. I was just listening to Friday's A&G, and it made me look into the Fonseca-Djokovic match, and golly, that must have been a hell of a watch, huh? we got our first golly. Was it golly or is it golly? I don't know how I meant it. Yeah, that was unbelievable. One of many unbelievable matches. You see the Fonseca-Ruud match yesterday? Mm-hmm. This is the other thing. Did you see this? With the lack of Hawkeye being involved? Casper Ruud was down a set. He wins the second set because Fonseca hits one long. But someone shouted in the audience, right? So Ruud didn't play it. The ump comes to see where the ball was. She determines that it was in. They play on. Fonseca wins the set a couple points later. Hawkeye shows that the ball was out. The players don't get to see that Hawkeye. They got to get rid of it. It changed the entire match. You have no idea if Ruud could. 1-1 in a marathon like that versus 2-0 in sets is like a seismic gulf.
What's the reasoning at this point? That's just tradition? Yes, at this point it's just tradition. We've always done it this way. We'll continue to do it this way. Yeah, but like tennis was always doing it that way.
It honestly made you not want to watch anymore. Michael LaFond, let's hope it's a sweep so my favorite radio show, A Numbers Game, stops talking about NBA, the worst league ever. Sorry, Michael LaFond, it's kind of a thing. JD in Florida, what's left of the men's draw is nuts. Just throw a dart at the stage. Stanley Cup bet is placed to end in 6 games, plus 210. Also, huge college softball matchup at noon Eastern, Texas, Tennessee. There you go. Spence, my college baseball betting strategy is to pull a Costanza and bet opposite the college baseball pros. I don't know who the pros you're referring to are. Tim Bowers, I'm no NBA hardo, but it seems like the Knicks didn't have to face a good defensive team in the playoffs yet. Agree. Norman Vegas, FYI, Channel 13 now off the air on DirecTV due to contract dispute with Scripps. No NHL or NBA. Time to get out the antenna. Oh, man. Breaking out the antenna. Greg Peterson joins us now, courtesy of the Progressive Guest Line, to talk some baseball with us. He, of course, can be found on Twitter at @GUnit_81. His tribute to Anquan Bolden. Greg joins us now from somewhere in the desert. Greg, how you doing, man?
And by somewhere in the desert, you mean Henderson, Nevada.
That's
I'm doing great. How about
correct.
you?
That's correct. Henderson, Nevada, where moments from now you will be, once you get off with us, you will be embarking on your daily, and I mean daily, 12-mile run. How many days in a row for the run?
We have been in Las Vegas. It's going to be 9 years in 2 weeks from now.
Not
2
one.
weeks, maybe like 17 days, and I have pretty much made it every single day. So we're going on about 9 years.
Okay, how many days off would you say you've had in those 9 years? How many? 1, 2?
Last time I had a day off was about 8.5 years ago.
Wow. This kid's amazing.
We've had this conversation before.
I know.
You haven't gotten sick. You haven't twisted an ankle. You haven't made a flight.
What if you have a flight? Yeah, you go on a run that day?
I just get it in at midnight before the flight, which is typically about 5 a.m., and then I just rest and recover on the flight.
Rest and recover on the flight. How's the dating life going, Greg? Before we get to your baseball picks, how's the dating life? What's happening?
Well, I went on a first date about a week or so ago, and I decided I do not want a second date in this adventure, so I decided, you know what, we are going to go back to the drawing board.
Oh, what happened that made you say, I don't want any more of this? What happened?
It was not good. It was not good. I will leave it at that. It was not good.
On site or during conversation?
Before the conversation even, when you are told, oh, pick me up here, and you're sent 20 minutes away from the place where you're supposed to pick the person up, you know that it's not going to be good.
That's it. Greg's out. It's been inconvenienced.
And then it somehow got worse. It actually got worse.
Did you say anything? Did you say, boy, that was a little out of the way? Did you say anything to her or no? You just kept your mouth shut?
Well, what happened was she tried to sleep in my car. It was that bad. So, yeah.
What do you mean? Before,
like
after?
Follow
What do you mean?
After.
After. Oh,
yeah.
What did you say? Like, get out of my
Not
car?
Great. Not great.
Okay. Say no more. Say no more. We'll let that lie till the next time. We got baseball to talk about. That's okay. Thank you. You shared that was pretty interesting. All right, Royals and Reds. You have a total play in this one today.
Absolutely, and hopefully the bats will be asleep for this one because I'm in on the under, and boy, the Royals have been rough this year with their offense. Away from home, they're averaging about 3.2 runs per game. That out of 30 teams is 30th in all of baseball, and Chase Burns has been amazing. He's got a sub-2 ERA. I recognize that the fielding independent is a little bit higher than that, but he's given up 1 home run, 10.1 strikeouts per 9 innings, and for the Reds, they've been able to get some reinforcements in the lineup, like what I've seen out of J.J. Bleday, the back-end Eugenio Suarez, because felt like Ellie De La Cruz, along with Sal Seward, were really carrying the mail for this team. But I also think that the Reds might see a little bit of positivity with this bullpen. One of the most stark things I've seen all season long, the Reds were leading the league in bullpen ERA in the first month or so of the season, and currently they're a bottom 5 team in terms of bullpen ERA. It has went straight down the toilet bowl ever since about the first 4 or so weeks of the season. Think that they can get back online here against a Royals team that is going to throw on their Luinder Avila as their starter. For Avila, he hasn't really done a lot of starting. He's been mostly coming out of the bullpen, but with his 5 ERA closer to 3.46 or so fielding independent, I do think that there's a little bit of positivity doing for him. So right now, I'm seeing 9 to 8.5. Whether you've got an 8.5 or a 9, do like the under. And for the Reds, I did side with them on the run line, though. I'm now seeing this right around minus 120. That is just getting to a little bit of a point of no return for me.
All right, the Giants are at the Brewers tonight. Explain this one to me, Greg. It's Kyle Harrison, Cy Young candidate, former Giant, by the way, now a Cy Young candidate. Brewers are only minus 144 against the no-account Giants, despite them vomiting up 19 runs yesterday at Coors. And the Brewers, our May champions, everybody, which we'll talk about later. Brewers minus 144. Too good to be true, that line?
That's because you're probably going to be getting Shane Drone in this start. It looks like Kyle Harrison is going to be pushed back to Tuesday. The Brewers have been dealing with a few ailments. They were supposed to be getting back Quinn Priester this week. Quinn Priester's rehab has not been going great, to say the least, but I'm willing to bet on Shane Drone here. Like with Drone, he's mostly been coming out of the bullpen. He's yet to go more than 4 1/3 innings thus far this season, but he's backed up by a bullpen that is in the top 8 in terms of ERA. Drone himself has been able to give you a sub-3 ERA, and for the Giants, they entered into Sunday dead second last in terms of run creation. They scored 19 runs against the Rockies, which is great, but now you have to go from elevation back down to sea level. That oftentimes throws off a lot of teams, and the one thing for the Giants is that Landon Rupp has been a bright spot for them. Sub-335 ERA, 265 fielding independent, 10 strikeouts per 9 innings, but as we know with the Brewers, they don't rely upon the deep ball to be able to develop offense. Out of 30 teams, they are 30th in terms of home runs on a per at-bat basis. Think that they get to Rupp. Think that the just wholesale approach for the Brewers gets the job done here in a lower scoring game. Like the Brewers on the money line, right around minus 140, minus 145 is where I'm finding that to go along with that 7.5 under.
Rangers Cardinals 2011 World Series revenge spot for the Rangers. Cardinals are a slight dog. What do you like here?
The David Freese World Series, by the way. And I do like the Rangers here on the money line because with St. Louis, they're coming off of Sunday Night Baseball. Absolutely took it to Jordan Wicks. They didn't score after the 3rd inning, but they didn't need to. But got a guy in Jacob deGrom who, we all know Jacob deGrom as a strikeout guy and a rock-solid pitcher. He's uncharacteristically giving up 2 home runs per 9 innings. Do you think that he finds it a little bit more here against the Cardinals team that going into the day on Sunday Night Baseball, they were only averaging about 3.95 runs per game at home. That's a bottom 6 mark in all of baseball. Rangers have been much better with their offense when they've been away from home rather than at home. I don't think a lot of people realize how much Arlington suppresses offense. Think that the Rangers find it here, and I just love fading teams coming off of Sunday Night Baseball. So right around minus 120, minus 125. Took a shot on the Rangers on the money line.
All right, you are not required to watch this baseball game, but Greg has a play on it. Rockies at the Angels.
Yep, if you don't want to watch this game, I do not blame you. You probably really love baseball, and I do love baseball. I do like the under here. Jose Soriano has been really good for the LA Angels. Sub-3 ERAs, getting 10 strikeouts per 9 innings. Rockies, as we know, some of the biggest home and road splits in all of baseball. Kyle Freeland has been a train wreck, giving up 2.5 home runs per 9 innings, 80 ERA. Angels, though, they're averaging 3.4 runs per game at home, second worst in all of baseball. So I think that they're going to have a rough go of it. I think that Freeland, who throughout his career has been a much better pitcher than what he's shown this year, finds positivity. I took a shot on the Rockies on the money line at plus 180, and I do like that total to the under.
All right, and one more to boot, the red-hot Mariners. You got them versus the Mets today?
Yep, and the Mets are not white hot, to say the least. Sean Manaea is going to be thrown as a bulk guy. Austin Warren is going to be the opener here for the Mariners. Emerson Hancock has been one of the better, shall we say, stories in all of baseball. For Manaea, who's going to be the bulk guy. He is getting about 10 strikeouts per 9 innings, but command issues with 4 walks per 9 innings. Mets offense has not been able to get online. Do like the Mariners with the Mets having to go from east to west to get the job done here on the money line, right around about minus 135.
There you go. Mariners winners of 6 in a row. Greg, thank you. Good luck with the dates moving forward. I appreciate it.
I appreciate you. Thank you.
Greg Peterson, everybody. Coming back with more baseball.
VSiN's player prop projection tool is now available for the NBA. Get projections for points, assists, rebounds, and more powered by Opta AI. On VSiN.com/NBA props, we line up our projections against the latest DraftKings odds so you can quickly spot mismatches and find value before the market adjusts. The NBA player prop projections tool is available exclusively to VSiN Pro subscribers. Check it out now at VSiN.com/NBA props and join us on the Sports Betting Network.
Your favorite VSiN shows and personalities are now available to download as podcasts. Catch every hour of our live broadcast with VSiN Best Bets, or find your go-to show and download it directly. Get instant reactions to last night's games, sharp analysis on today's biggest matchups, and everything in between. Whether you're commuting, working out, or just catching up, VSiN lets you take the action with you wherever and whenever you want. Search VSiN on your favorite podcast platform and get in on the action with VSiN, the Sports Betting Network.
Numbers Game on VSiN, the Sports Betting Network.
Back on A Numbers Game, live from Circa Resort Casino in downtown Las Vegas. Gil, Kelly, and a cast of thousands. Guys behind the glass already sort of, it wasn't enough that I said, hey, we'll go to the NBA Cup every year. They were already like, so are we going to the NBA Finals, Dad? That's what they said. Darnell.
Well, y'all treated us. You treated the kids last time.
We are not going to the NBA Finals. By the way, you hear this? Like the prices in New York are so expensive that it's cheaper to fly to San Antone, go to that game,
get a hotel, rent a car, have a nice dinner, fly back. Yep. It's incredible, man.
Those Knicks fans, there's something, huh?
What did we looked it up last week? $100K to sit by the floor?
We get Sweet Speedy the book. Oh, Super Jerk is back.
What's up, Super Jerk?
Super Jerk reacting to our last segment with Greg Peterson. He goes, this poor kid could have a podcast on his dating life. Why you say this poor kid? He lives a happy life. What are you talking about, Super Jerk? It was a great life. 2 podcasts, the baseball betting podcast, and, of course, Coast to Coast Hoops, where he has longevity streaks on both of those also. The college basketball one for years and years and years. Hasn't missed a day.
What, you more impressed that he does a podcast every day or runs every day?
Running every day. Because, if you put your mind to it, you could do a 15, 20 I don't know how long his podcast is. He tends to do 4-hour ones during college basketball season. But the 12 miles a day. He says you just got to get the job done. That's what he said off air.
Yeah.
It's not a job. That's how his brain works. By the way, he also
Maya Chwalinska? Who is this girl?
Maya Chwalinska. We
had the second week of the French Open.
I had her as a big dog earlier this week. Yeah, she's headed to the quarters.
Jeez.
Yeah, it's going to be Kalinskaya versus Chwalinska, Svitolina versus Kostyuk, Andreeva versus Gerstea, and Schneider awaiting the winner of Sabalenka-Osaka, which I expect to be Sabalenka.
I might have just threw a few bucks down on Tiafoe to win the whole damn thing.
That was not good. Shouldn't have done that. Warrior013, Matt, maybe she just couldn't get enough of your game breakdowns, Greg Peterson. Pretty sure the car sleepover would have been a compliment. Well, he did sort of tell me off air there was like I don't know, she properly mixed her meds. Anyway,
yeah, it sure sounded like there was something like that.
I'm glad she's out of the car. Zachary Singleton had the Reds most wins in the month with you last month, had Phillies at 15-1 last month, and made it to the last day again. All for nothing. I can almost taste it. Got any takes for June? Yeah, Zachary, we did the whole thing last week. Let's update that now, shall we? Here's the May most wins, by the way. This is final now that we're in June 1st. Special numbers game investigation reveals that June has begun. This is the log jam that resulted in the end of May. The Brewers end up winning outright at both Circa and William Hill Caesars. The reason I say it that way, remember, is because William Hill Caesars is a dead heat, but Circa would then go to tiebreakers. Those did not come into effect. Fewest losses, best run differential. The Brewers beat the Rays, Dodgers, Braves, White Sox, Phillies, and Guardians all by 1 win.
Wow. As always, on a numbers game, congratulations to the Brewers, their players, their front office, and everybody that put together this fine team for the magical run that was May.
Champagne was popped. It was amazing. Corks were popped with the champagne. It was amazing. I don't know if you guys saw that. And in a tradition unlike any other in baseball, bunting on July 4th, throwing out the first pitch, you name your favorite tried and true baseball tradition, the Guardians gacked the month on the final day.
Oh, man.
Brewers win it by 1. By the way, the Mariners were our team. They did not finish in 8th. They finished in 13th. Only, I say, 4 wins behind in the end. So while our Reds was in play the entire time in March, April, and only lost at the very end, and they finished, I think, 2 wins back, the way that the cookie crumbled at the very end there, the Mariners ended up finishing 4 wins back, which is kind of amazing, and never had a shot.
Yeah.
But the handicap remains, a good one, though it did not become a winning one. By the way, the bottom teams, in case you were wondering, Rockies second worst at 8-20, and your Detroit Tigers 6-22. Look at the Rockies run differential, -76 in the 1 month.
When are we getting fewest wins in the month?
We should, by the way.
Come on, Biggio.
I mean, the Tigers would have been. Here's the Tigers would have probably gotten you a great price.
Right.
Here's the. I tweeted this out yesterday. So this is the May most wins odds, pre-flop odds at Caesars and at Circa. Remember, at May They both did this. Remember, March, April versus April was a little fakakta. But here we have the Brewers end up cashing for Caesars and Circa Sports folks at 40-1 and 32-1 respectively. I can't, like in retrospect, I'm like, were they that long? And they were. The one I want to point to, by the way, Tampa Bay, who finished in second, right, 75-1 and 40-1 respectively. Then it's the Dodgers in the mix as always. That's why they're the favorite every time, the short shot. But look at the White Sox, Kelly. The White Sox were 300-1 and 200-1 respectively at Caesars and Circa for the month of May. One win back. I guess at Circa, they would have lost the tiebreakers too, but at least for a dead heat, that would have been a heck of a dead heat at 300-1 for them.
Who won April?
Well, let's show those. Do we have that? If we continue with the tweet, did we not continue with the tweet? Oh, Danny has it. Okay. March, April. Well, here's April. April was Atlanta. Just the month of April intact. The 30 days of April was Atlanta at 19-8. They beat the Padres by 1 win. The Cubbies and the Reds by 2. And then March, April was also Atlanta.
Okay.
When you added the March days as well. Remember, that was the market we were in where the Reds finished just 2 wins back. There it is. Atlanta 22-10. The Dodgers, Yankees, and Reds were all 2 wins back. So of all those 3, March, April, April only, and May so far, the one team that has been consistently good the whole time, more than any, is the Atlanta Braves, followed by the Dodgers, and then, of course, reflected in the standings. Our team for June is the Chicago Cubs. We did a whole thing on that last week, and I gave my reasons for that. Got them at 12-1. I see them like at plus 650 now at Circa. Here is this the current now at DraftKings? DraftKings posted. The Cubs are 10-1 there, so you can get almost as good of a number as I got them. Dodgers are plus 340. They should always be the short shot. Yankees, who were my number 2. Remember, I went 6-5, 4, 3, 2, and 1 last week in terms of who I considered. My Yankees were my runner-up, so there you go. Yankees are going to win it just because they were my second choice. 7-1. Phillies are 10-1. Didn't, they were consideration in there as well. Cubs at 10-1 is my play. And the Mariners, who we had in May, they're 11-1, along with the Brewers. Everybody else, starting with the Diamondbacks, 12-1 or longer. So the Cubbies are the play. Let's go.
The Dodgers are just the Scotty Scheffler of this market.
Sure.
It's incredible. Second both months so far. Actually, all 3, right? If you did the March, April, or just April, and then
March,
May.
April, or May. Yeah, were they April also? I can't remember now.
Yeah.
Atlanta, the most consistent. Dodgers right behind them. Rick Ollier. Hey, Gil, when's football? People, it's so funny, the anti-basketball or the anti... Actually, I don't know if it's that now or if it's just that we're down to the
Everything
finals.
just slows down.
We're down to the finals and everything, so everybody's ready for football. We'll get there. Kelly and I do this thing, though. We were talking about it a little this weekend. Kelly and I kind of slow play football more than others just because it's all football immersion come football season.
Mm-hmm.
It's going to be come mid-August, beginning of August. It's all football. So we try to slow play it a little bit in the summertime.
I do have some breaking news for you.
Please.
You're not going to be shocked by it because you expected it was coming, and we talked a little bit about it last week. But 23-time Grand Slam winner Serena Williams officially making her return to professional tennis.
Is she saying doubles yet?
Will play doubles next week at the HSBC Championship. The tournament announced this morning.
Yeah, that's the Queen's Club, I believe. Yeah, she's going to play singles. You don't come back out of retirement to play doubles. She's going to play singles. Yeah, we talked about it last week. The morning Sinner got knocked out. I said there's even bigger news in tennis.
You think she's going to do like a few tournaments of just doubles to like ramp up?
Yeah, and then she's going to play. I guarantee she's going to play singles at Wimbledon.
Yeah,
that's awesome.
So what does that give her? Like 3 tournaments?
Literally 3 weeks. 4 weeks.
It's
Grass
so
season
quick,
is a snap.
So quick.
Real Knicks. Like Hoops, I too had a horrible first date recently. Maybe he and I should have gone on the date together. Sure, the physical attraction wouldn't have been there, but talking run lines and bullpen ERA would have been way better. And he could have taken me to Texas Roadhouse. That's the other thing Hoops said off air. He said, more Roadhouse for me. And Joe at TheJoe3232, love the show, gents. Thanks for getting me through my mornings. I just noticed the guy in your intro that says the numbers tell the story. They always do. Sounds just like your old producer, Jeff Parlay. Keep up the good work. It was not Jeff Parlay, the Grover Cleveland of producers. I am informed by Rob Moreno, the great Rob Moreno, that is from the show Billions. Season 2, episode 1, I believe is what he told me. It's when hedge fund manager Bobby Axelrod, played by Damian Lewis, he says the quote, while discussing horse racing and investment strategies. In the scene, he explains how watching the vets bet heavy and late at the track taught him that thorough data-driven analysis always uncovers the truth of a situation. There you
Great
go.
show.
From Billions. People had trouble identifying Charles Barkley, saying, he's one of the biggest analytics.